Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an incredible day. To start things off, a newly proposed Ethereum hard fork may punt a key network feature 2 years down the road from now to avoid complicating Ethereum's transition to proof of stake. Ethereum Improvement Proposal, or EIP 2387, created in mid-November, would tentatively schedule a 6th of January hard fork to delay the difficulty bomb, or the Ice Age as I knew it, from going off for another 4 million blocks, or just about 611 days. The hard fork is dubbed Muir Glacier, after the retreating Alaskan glacier. Oh, that's sad. Slated for block number 9,069,000, the hard fork contains a bridge between the current chain, based on a proof of work consensus mechanism, and the beacon chain, or the first phase of the so-called Ethereum 2.0 transition to proof of stake. With other networks like EOS, Binance Chain, and Substrate, looking to pick off projects from Ethereum, developers voiced concerns on a call last Friday over maintaining the current chain's health and the transition to Ethereum as the transition to Ethereum 2.0 occurs. Complicating matters, the network's next major hard fork, Istanbul, is now slated for Saturday. I'm actually crossing my fingers. That is tomorrow. Typically before, whenever a hard fork was going to happen, usually on Ethereum, we heard about 3 or 4 days before that it was being delayed. It wasn't going to happen. They had to add something else. As of now, it is still slated for tomorrow. That is the beginning of Ethereum 2.0. If developers fail to agree on Muir Glacier soon, which remains unlikely after reaching a rough consensus on a developer call last week, block times will continue to move upwards, restricting the current network's capabilities as transaction fees crowd out users. Here's where it gets interesting. A piece of code that was embedded in 2015. The difficulty bomb is one of 2 components, which gradually increases the hashing difficulty on the Ethereum blockchain. Is meant to force the network towards proof of stake, with the Serenity Network overhaul currently slated for 2021. Similar to Bitcoin, Ethereum features a mining difficulty adjustment scheme to control the output of Ether rewards for mining on the network of which the bomb is a part of. Just to show you exactly how long this has been going on, I think a lot of people think I'm over-exaggerating when I say that this entire... We've been waiting a very long time for this update. This is why my fingers are actually crossed. For those of you not looking at the screen, this article says, with Ethereum Ice Age incoming, momentum builds for miner pay cut. This article is from the 28th of March, 2017. Oh, look at that. It was updated on the 12th of February, 2019. This has been discussed since the end of 2015. It was very big news in 2016. And then it was believed that we would have Ethereum 2.0 by 2017. And then it was the end of 2017. And then the beginning of 2018, and then it was mid-2018, and then it was the end of 2018, and then it was maybe the beginning of 2019, and this is why I'm actually holding my breath for tomorrow. The entire point of this is, or was, or has been, we were expecting to have a proof-of-stake Ethereum a couple of years ago, and the idea was, in order to get people off of proof of work, there would be a difficulty time bomb or an ice age that would, imagine it this way. Typically when a hard fork happens, a chain splits in 2. Imagine you have a gigantic tree in your yard. You split the tree directly down the middle, but you only want one side of the tree. That's the chain that you want to continue to grow. You expect the other side to wither away, but it doesn't. People still at nighttime go to your house and they water the other side, and it still looks super healthy. So they tried to introduce something called a difficulty time bomb, or an ice age, where pretty much one side of the tree would freeze, break apart, no one would want to use it, and you couldn't water it because it was dying, and the other side would grow unhealthy and amazing, yada, 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 yada. It's kind of push people to make sure that they go to the proof of stake chain as opposed to forking it and making another new chain and calling this the original Ethereum, yada, 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 yada. So, let's see if this proposal goes through. I think at this point, delaying the ice age for another 2 years is a little insane. It needs to just kind of happen at this point. The point being, this is a new proposal. Whether it goes through or not, we should at that point have Ethereum 2.0. It's more so of I feel like in 2 years it should be fine, that the consensus should be that everyone is on the proof of stake chain, and that the bomb can go off as needed in order to stop people from using the older chains and or not have as much of an incentive, if none at all, to continue mining the old chain. Tomorrow. Actually holding my breath. Next up, a newer Bitcoin exchange traded product, or ETP, has just listed on Switzerland's SIX stock exchange, and it's physically backed by the underlying crypto. Launched by New York-based Wisdom Tree, one of the largest ETF providers in the United States, on Tuesday, the new product will compete with a similarly backed Bitcoin ETP from Amon AG on SIX. But the first time when I saw this, I thought it was the exact same thing. Nope, it is the one that we spoke about a couple of days ago was the Amon AG on SIX Bitcoin ETP, and apparently New York's Wisdom Tree has launched their own ETP on SIX as well. At press time, the Wisdom Tree ETP, ticker symbol BTCW, is live on SIX's platform, but is showing no volume as of yet. A physically backed product is settled in the underlying asset and not a cash equivalent. Wisdom Tree said its Bitcoin ETP gives investors a simple, secure, and cost-efficient way to gain exposure to Bitcoin while utilizing the best of traditional financial infrastructure and product structuring. I was going to read on, but a couple of things. This is basically my opinion. We have yet another American company, as they are New York based, who has, I assume, tried at some point to try to launch an ETF. I assume they said, nope, if the bigger names can't do it, we definitely cannot as well. So they have essentially moved their product overseas, made it an ETP, and tried to launch it with the Swiss stock exchange, which apparently it's been launched, but there's no volume. I haven't checked it as of late, so there might be volume now. Everyone seems to be, and I think this just may be the theme of 2019. If you can't get an ETF, make an ETP. Everyone's trying to launch the exact same thing, even across multiple different platforms, as far as like Tezo staking, launching ETPs, trying to launch options at the exact same time, listing the same coins at the exact same time. I think everyone's trying to just simply keep up with everyone else. But yeah, we have another, and I mean, the only silver lining for me is that it's a physically backed ETP. However, I always think it's very weird that the way that they market these things is that they say you can gain exposure to Bitcoin while not actually having the Bitcoin yourself. And it's kind of like, one, you should, not financial advice, should be owning your own Bitcoin. And two, I don't trust a lot of companies, and that's not a tinfoil hat thing. It's more like we've seen the hacks, we've seen the ransacks, we've seen the shutdowns, we've seen the freezing, we've seen the people disappearing with cold keys and hot keys and all this other stuff like that. So I always find it odd that still, and I don't think they ever will, maybe it'll hit them in about 5 years. I don't understand the desire to gain exposure to Bitcoin as opposed to not actually holding it yourself, especially when you're buying a product that is based off of the exact current value of Bitcoin. It seems to make a bit more sense to hold the Bitcoin itself. Here's the actual ticker for it. Yeah, there's no volume. Anyway, good luck to them, and let's move on. Next up, Bloomberg has revealed its outlook for Bitcoin in 2020, saying it is only a matter of time before the leading cryptocurrency hits $10,000. They said, and I do quoteth, increasing adoption of Bitcoin, the digital quasi-currency with limited supply, tilts our price outlook for the firstborn crypto favorably for 2020 and the next decade. This year was part of its transition towards the crypto market version of gold. The maturation process should continue, notably as volatility declines. Like gold, Bitcoin is retracing a bear market, while most of its brethren, or altcoins, have increasing betas on the downside. For Bitcoin, we see 6,500 as a good support and 10,000 as initial resistance in 2020. Overall, Bloomberg analysts say Bitcoin is much more likely to tilt towards its year-end high of nearly 14,000 rather than retrace towards its 2019 lows. I think we've just gotten to that point in the year where people are like, okay, let's start saying what we think is going to happen for Bitcoin in 2020. Never forget, no one knows. However, everyone, and this has been a wide thing. Wide. My arms are very wide. As wide as I can do them without hitting stuff in the room. A lot of people believe, even all the negative Nancys, all the ones that we heard in 2018 and 2019 who kept on saying, yeah, Bitcoin's going to fall. The price is going down. Bitcoin's going to fall. Even as the prices were going up, even they believe that 2020 will be significant in some sort of way. And this goes as far and as long as the anticipation for the mining reward getting cut in half, and after the mining reward getting cut in half, as far as like it taking place, and then people being like, oh, there's less Bitcoin, and then the price goes up. This is mainly because we've seen before in the past, usually after a fork, not a fork, after a halving. I'm hungry. After the halving has happened, about a couple of months later, this is normally when the rumblings start to begin and prices start moving up. So we will see what happens. I still think it should definitely be over 10,000, but apparently 10,000 is a resistance that we've passed by many times before, yet it's still a resistance. Sure. Here's the actual thing right here. Here's the actual PDF from Bloomberg. It says tilting positive for 2020. It should be just a matter of time before Bitcoin finds $10,000. Growing adoption. Got a view on gold. Love it or hate it. Tether. Ooh, okay, that's weird. Love it or hate it. Tether boosts Bitcoin as a crypto standard. And it says Bitcoin ending 2019 near 6,500 support. Tilts favorably for 2020. And I'm not going to go through the entire thing, but they've obviously done their homework because money. Alrighty. Let's move on. Next up. Where is it? Jeez Louise, where is it? There we go. The digital currency race is heating up. Banque de France, France's central bank, has announced plans to start testing a digital currency as early as the first quarter of 2020. According to an update by the news agency AFP, pressure from from Facebook's Libra and similar initiatives is triggering an accelerated timetable. The central bank's governor, François Villeroy de Gallo, says the creation of a central bank digital currency is a crucial focus. He said, we want to start running experiments rapidly and will launch a call for projects before the end of the first quarter of 2020. Speaking on Wednesday at a finance conference in Paris, Villeroy said he's eager to support the use of a central bank digital currency, what's wrong with me, in order to exchange and settle tokenized financial assets between financial companies. He said we have to make our contribution to this innovation, but in a serious and methodical way. I see an advantage in quickly moving forward to issue at least a wholesale central bank digital currency in order to be the leading issuer in the world and thus reap the benefits of having a benchmark central bank digital currency. One, this is now, remember we just went over like 8 other countries over the last 3 weeks who were also talking about launching their own central bank digital currency, their own digital coin. For someone or a country who was really not into it before, they seem to be really into the idea of launching one now. We had news, I think, that Germany was thinking about it. I know there were a couple of EU leaders, but the most adamant against Libra was France, and it appears to be because they're trying to make their own. What I think that government leaders and bankers and yada, yada, yada don't get is that people don't simply want something that's digital. They want something, and I speak a lot based on my own opinions, the people who I know in the cryptocurrency space, and people who understand what the digitization of the world is going to be. This is where I'm coming from. The idea always is that decentralized is better because there's no single point of failure, and it's also about having control over your own money. Simply digitizing something, I feel like they're trying to digitize rapidly because, one, they're trying to beat Facebook coin, which isn't even the purpose of Facebook coin. And secondly, I always feel like it's like they're trying to be young, cool, and hip and saying, well, like, we can do it as well. You know, Libra's terrible, but look at ours. Like, you can also pay in this digital thing that you wanted before. And even the entire point of Libra, though nefarious in many ways, usually comes down to the fact that it's like a quick, rapid payment method that didn't really have to go through not a third person or a third party. It's just something that was like, it was another way of transacting value. It's the same exact thing with Kik and Kin and Telegram coin and all these other things. Governments seem to be rapidly trying to do this because I think that they think, this is once again my opinion, that young people have a thirst, need, desire for digital payments, and therefore all they have to do is mimic what other companies and or cryptocurrencies already do to kind of have the whole hubbub be pushed to the side and people not really ask for it anymore. Does that make any sense to everyone? It's kind of like before Libra even was mentioned, governments didn't care at all about digitization. They had multiple conferences and they said, no, it's not going to happen for another 5 or 6, maybe 10, 15 years. We have no need for this. Who wants this? We don't know, so and so and so. Libra announced in June that they were going to be launching, and immediately after, governments were like, okay, we'll do the exact same thing. And it's like I get where they're coming from, but that's not the point. Like, we already can just tap our card, swipe our card. It's kind of digital in this sort of way, but it still doesn't get us away from the fiat currencies that plague us and almost said something gross. That, what's the word? That inflate around us. That's a nicer way of saying it. Anyway, here's the actual news tweet from AFP. It says, update, we want to start running experiments rapidly and will launch a call for projects before the end of the first quarter of 2020. This was said by the Bank of France Governor Francois Villeroy de Galhau as concern grows among governments over new currencies planned by Facebook and others. Oh, even crazier, I'm certain at this point, this is allegedly, my head. There's been a huge uptick in the number of countries who are like, no. Yeah, okay. Digital, sure, we'll do it. 2020, definitely we're going to have it. I feel like there must be something behind the scenes that we aren't aware of, where Amazon, Google, and some other companies are definitely trying to make their own currency, if that kind of makes any sense. Some other major companies must have come forward in some sort of way to talk to a government about this because it seems a bit too obvious. We've actually thought that Google was making a coin for a very long time. Don't be surprised within the next couple of months, even by 2020, if we hear about Amazon or Google coin. I think Google would be a bit more because Google's basically Skynet at this point. Anyway, you understand what I'm trying to say. The fact is we have word now that France's central bank is talking about launching their own digital currency. I assume other countries will be next. It's only a matter of time to every country has one. Let's move on. Next up, where is it? Here we go. Malta-based digital asset exchange OKEX is introducing XRP and Ethereum Classic futures contracts today. OKEX is currently the world's largest cryptocurrency derivatives exchange by 24-hour trading volume, according to data from Gecko. Both XRP and Ethereum Classic futures are settled in Tether, and users can trade weekly, bi-weekly, and quarterly contracts. They also have Bitcoin, Ethereum, EOS, Litecoin, and Bcash futures contracts. These apparently have been live since 14th of November. Funny how we don't really hear about those at all. He said the simulation of our USDT futures contracts was very successful, and we received positive feedback from traders in the OKEX community. We've developed a safe, reliable, and stable environment for cryptocurrency trading and strive to offer new services based on our customers' interests. We're excited to add USDT linear contracts to our futures market and next on the perpetual swap market to meet the interests of growing international user bases. OKEX plans to support futures trading for TRON and Bitcoin SV in the future. The exchange says its mobile USDT marginized futures products will go live soon. Okay. So futures and ETPs and options seem to be a very large, wide scale reaching net that everyone's trying to do right now. Good luck to them, I say. It is quite fascinating to see any, and I mean any, news about other cryptocurrencies that also have futures as well. The conversation has normally only been, whoa, hold on. I probably shouldn't move my foot. There we go. I almost pulled out the headphones and almost pulled out the microphone, and that would have fallen off the table and then broke itself. And anyway, it's interesting to see that there are Ethereum, also EOS futures, Litecoin futures, BCAS futures, XRP futures, and then TRON and SV futures. 2020 is going to be a very interesting year. Here's the actual update for it. The XRP USDT features and the ETC USDT features. Wonderful. And to kind of finish things off, cryptocurrency exchange Gemini burnt about 1/5 of its Gemini dollar stablecoin total supply on the 3rd of December. Whale alert! A Twitter account dedicated to tracking large cryptocurrency transactions reported on the 3rd of December that around 1 million GUSD were burnt in a single operation. This number of tokens is equivalent to around 20% of what was the total GUSD circulating supply before the burn. The remaining GUSD supply is a little more than 4.1 million GUSD coins, tokens, monies. The Gemini dollar has seen an overall poor performance since its launch in late September of last year. Wow, terrible. The token received approval from the New York Department of Financial Services, and the US dollars that back it are held at a bank located in the US and eligible for FDIC pass-through deposit insurance subject to applicable limitations. Sure. But clearing regulatory hurdles is seemingly not enough to assure the success of a stablecoin. I mentioned this before. Everything that the Gemini twins have done has been so boring. The entirety of it's just so bad. I'm gonna check after this when we go through the prices where GUSD actually stands on the cryptocurrency ranking list. I'm pretty sure Pax is ahead of them. The Leo token from Bitfinex is probably ahead of them. I could probably create my own coin and it would probably do better than the Gemini coin. Everything they've done has been like, it's like wet paint on the wall, like nothing. And I don't feel bad for them. They're like extremely wrench. I mentioned that in another video when something else that they had created had kind of like flopped and somebody was like, dude, they're billionaires. And I was like, oh, you're right. They don't get sad. They just go buy more stuff. 1/5 of all their tokens have been burned. I assume this may be the soon-to-be end of the Gemini dollar. Stablecoins typically don't burn 20% of their supply unless they're losing funding. It's kind of weird that they only have $4.1 million in GUSD. I would at least put like 15 million of my own money into the thing just to kind of get it a little bit more popular. Maybe they haven't been able to list it on other cryptocurrency exchanges. Maybe no one likes them. I don't know the inner workings of the rich cryptocurrency people. That was a weird sentence. But yeah, when I first read this, I thought it had to do with something like Binance Coiny, that they had their own coin and they were burning 1/5 of it. And I was like, whoa, that's completely insane. And then I read it and I was like, oh, that's sad. That's not. Anyway, I don't know what it is. The Gemini twins have been in the cryptocurrency space since 2011, 2012. You would have assumed they would have got like a marketing team and been like, yeah, we're cool, we're young, we're awesome. Everything they do is so dry. And anyway, that's the Gust news for those of you who were even using Gust or even knew that it existed. Yeah. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, Professor Wally from Gunbot University, The Animal Reader, A Bibliophobia, Bare Bones Mining, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohair Maroney, Master Ventures in Thailand, Brady Niels, Woody and Daisy, Triple MNJ, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, I got to sit correctly, Adobo, Milouise, Mechanic, Strange Radio Central, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Cryptopolis, Nicholas, Run Earth, One Piece, One Love, Damien, Setsuna, Nick, Kanaya, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Crypto and Beer Shipmate, Paxis, Nick, Mangialavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller, Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Yes, 2, Crypto, Bodie McButtface, Sammy Buucha, Ting Tang, Walla Walla Bing Bang, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, and Shoop Shoop Diddy Wop, Hummer Hummer Wang Dang. Thank you all very, very much for your support. At the moment, nope. Before we even go all of that, 24-hour volume, market cap. I'm going to scroll right down. We're on number 50. Scrolling down, 65, 40 million. Going to keep scrolling. 32, 30, 29, 26, 24, not even loading. That's sad. There's a Ucoin. I don't know what that means, but there's bread. There's a BitZ. There's XMax. Nebulous Arc. Ooh, Walton Chain. Ooh. Red Coin. Still at 19 million. Going down. Arc Block. Pivx. Grotesque. A lot of these names look familiar. 11 million. Still scrolling down. Oh, nope. Active ICOs at 201. We're now on coin 250. Whoa, that's a drop. 9,876. We're now at coin number 300. Still going down. 654. Nope, still at 5. 350. Hope you're all hanging in there. I want to see exactly what number it is. It said 4.01 was left. Nope. 4.1 million. 4 still going. Wrapped Bitcoin. Wow. 4, wait, should be right here. There we go. The 404th coin is the Gemini dollar. Ultra, Pirate Chain, Wrapped Bitcoin, Pro Chain, and DKK token are all above the Gemini. If you were rich and you made your own stablecoin, you would probably do everything in your power to make sure that that coin was used. Why is the Gemini dollar at number 404? I'm telling you, if you have marketing skills, send them an email and just be like, can I please help you? Because I feel like, especially with all the regulatory approval, all the paperwork that they got done, they could have easily dominated the market. Like, there's no reason why the Gemini dollar that's legally legal should be even 20 spaces behind Tether, which is still a huge question mark in the sky at this point. There's Peer Coin. Wow, that's a very old coin. Hydro, Bolt, VinChain. I'm looking for like really old coins to see if they said counterparties here. Wow. Zero trading volume. Vibe. There's a lot of, not a lot of them. Wow, District OX, my goodness. A lot of coins that we used to like get hype about in 2017. And there were, I'm looking for old coins that I used to know, like in 2012. There were so many coins that I used to, Litecoin Cash. Have a seat. There are a lot of coins that used to be really popular in 2012 and 2013. Oh, that's sad. Guinness 361. Made me shed a tear. That like, I wonder if they're still around. There was like Earth Coin. There was World Coin. So many of them. Drop. I remember Name Coin. Wow, like a blast from the... Wow, Raiden Network is here. Blast from the past. These are like... A lot of these coins here were like some of the really... Poe is here. Some of the really first coins that like people thought were really going to take over the world. I know that sounds incredibly stupid right now. Dragon Chain, wow. 12,000 volume. There were so many coins at the very beginning that people thought were really like going to make it. There's 10x coin. Oh. BFT coin, High coin, okay. Polymath coin, Go Chain, True Chain, Denta coin. Oof. New York Exchange coin. It's clever. They not real though. Gas. I think this is Neo's gas. Wow. $10 million market cap. Imagine all this money sitting in all these coins. If all that money just went to the top, even the top 30 coins, how healthy our market would be. When I talk about the coins that, in my opinion, PIVX, that simply Gnosis is here as well, that even Everpedia, that's sad. The coins that probably should not be around, my opinion, I'm scrolling by them. Imagine if all this, oh, even Binance USD. Is there a Binance USD? I don't remember Binance making another coin. I'm sure they made another coin. It's also kind of sad. I think everyone's just making Red Coin, Wan Chain, Walton Chain. This isn't to be mean, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you who are looking at the screen are noticing a lot of coins that Beam. Wow, Beam is 135. My gosh. Decentraland. A lot of the coins that a lot of you told me I should talk about. Oh, that's sad. Grin is 121. That I should talk about because people needed to know about them. And now they're nowhere. This is why about a good year and some change ago, we had that discussion and I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to focus on some of the more top coins. Golem is here. I used to love Golem. Wow. Golem, for those of you who don't know, they plan on making like a world supercomputer. Where pretty much it was like a super interconnected computer thing, but I think a couple of other companies ended up doing the exact same thing because they're all computers and they can be interconnected. Electronium. I'm seeing all these names. Energy. People told me I was a loser for not talking about these coins. Wow. Brings back memories. There's BitTorrent coin. Anyway, after that super crazy blast from the past, the market is red. It's not bright red, but it's still red. I think that Bax Bitcoin options are launching today. I think it's today. We haven't had any like announcement or any news about it as of yet, but I'm pretty sure that it's launching today. We'll see if that does anything to the price. I'm fully expecting let's say an easy weekend, if you kind of want to say that. Nothing too significant or nothing too crazy, but I have been wrong many times before in the past. I said I expect prices to go down, and they've gone up by like 8% during the course of the day. Anyway, the crypto market is wild. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.